This one's gonna be a big one. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't write any of this down because y'all can tell, right? Y'all can tell. I ain't writing none of this down. I kind of felt like freestyling this one because there's so much information that came with chapter 103 that I said screw writing, bro, because we're just gonna talk about it. I had a lot of thoughts in this chapter, and I kind of had a few think pieces that I put on Twitter, and some people brought to my attention that I was gonna bring up as well. Anyway, gonna do a little bit of correlating this, that, and the third. Now, just to summarize a few of the things that happened that we're going to be going over, right? First and foremost, we're getting assistance from the South Branch of Cleaners. I don't know who the South Branch is. I don't know if that's Tomsy's crew, right? Tomsy and Delmont's crew. I don't know if that was theirs, but we'll have to see, and that will be very interesting in regards to how this ties together, because as y'all know, with Kuro being the information head that he is, he probably knows that Tomsy has ammo, and that's more than likely why he's bringing the South here. I like that a lot. But there's more to Kuro than meets the eye, which we'll get into later in regards to the box. And by the way, the box. I don't know if many of y'all are old horror fanatics, but if you guys know Hellraiser, you know Pinhead, this was very, 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 very familiar. Not to mention, we also have to talk about Rudo's gloves and the energy that was driving Follo crazy. And we'll get into a lot of the misconceptions that are here because I've seen a lot of them on Twitter, and I feel like there's a lot of context that people missed out on and a lot of information that people forgot from the beginning of Gachiakuta, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Lastly, finding out that this monster isn't even its real body. And if this isn't its real body, just how big is it? You know what I'm saying? You guys catching my drift here? Anyways, man, as y'all know, I'm DomoSenpai, and we are here with chapter 103 of Gachiakuta. If you're new to the channel and have yet to subscribe, man, make sure y'all do yourselves a favor. Go down, hit the subscribe button. We are trying to hit 10K by the end of summertime. You guys have been crazy, right? I gotta give y'all credit where credit is due. Y'all have been absolutely insane, and I have nobody else to thank but you guys, right? Your support has been immense. Shout out my boy Bardock for various reasons. If this happens, we're gonna have a lot of cool things happening over the span of the next however long that's gonna last. But I really appreciate y'all, man. Y'all been coming through strong, and we gonna have that live stream. I told y'all we're gonna be live streaming just so we can talk about the chapter, so y'all can bring all of your thoughts and everything to the forefront, and we can start theorizing things, going over cool theories and tinfoil hat pieces and big think pieces. If y'all got it, we're gonna be doing all of that over at twitch.tv/DomoSenpai. Now, you guys know we normally do this, right? This is what we normally do. So if y'all are ready, if I'm ready, y'all know we gotta... Anyways, glad to have you guys here. I got my coffee with me. It's a little hot. Let's go over the first order of business, and that is receiving help from the South Branch. Now look, I don't know about y'all, but when I got to this part, it made me pause because I had to go look and see if Tomsy and Delmont were indeed from the South Branch, but we don't know if Eager stands for South Branch or not. But if that's the case, this is gonna be a wild turn of events because I don't know if y'all can foresee it, but I can foresee what's about to happen. Screw that. We're getting into what I think is about to happen right now. We all know Rudo wants information on the person who made the chokers and where Ammo is, and I'm assuming that's what he is going to ask for that last piece of information, which is at the end, right? We'll tie that in right now. That's only if that's the last piece of information, right? I'm only gonna assume. Because if what's in that box is his way to get to the top, then we're gonna have to have a whole nother different discussion when next week's chapter pops off. Anyways, this is about to open up Pandora's box, right? The box. That's important. Pandora's box is super important. And the reason we're going to the end is because I want to save the thing that happens between Rudo and Follo. I want to save that for the end because I think that is the most important piece of information. So when Rudo is presented the box, Kuro says a few things, right? First and foremost, before we even get into that, like I said earlier in the video, this reminded me of Hellraiser because opening Pandora's box is usually a two-way street, right? If y'all remember, Hellraiser said that we are angels to some, demons to others. So this could very well be one of those situations because it's not necessarily Rudo's desire to open that box. It's more so his. Very, very cool. Very, very slick way of breaking down desire. Kuro said, I expended long days of my life to pay for the object inside, which I'm very curious about because we have an idea of what's inside when you look at the end because the Watchman series is drawn on the bottom. So let's actually have a conversation about this because what if inside this box is the book? Nobody thought about that, right? Because we talked about the piece of information potentially being Amo's whereabouts, right? We talked about that, but imagine, based off what Kuro said, this is important. He says, of course, the contents of that box might tell him before I do. And what if Rudo's question is, do you know what happened to Recto? Which it wouldn't be because he would have no idea. But if he opens this box and inside this box is that book, a plethora of questions is gonna pop off, bro. I love this because everything is starting to tie itself together, which is what we're gonna get into once we get into this Rudo and Follo thing. I genuinely thought that this was interesting because Kuro seems more tied to Rudo than I've given credit for. And just with this, we can tell what's about to happen for the most part. But Rudo understood like that's why he was needed for this situation because he knows Rudo can open this box or Rudo can use what's inside the box. Or maybe Kuro was bullshitting and the box is actually easy to open. He just wants Rudo to do it because everything has been made with Rudo in mind. The trip here, bringing out Zodil, bringing out all of these stops, right? Introducing him to this no man's land for a reason. All of this was here for a reason. This box was hidden here for a reason. The Watchman series is on the bottom for a reason. I think we're about to hit a very, very serious lore dump in these next like 10 to 12 chapters. Do y'all ever get that feeling when you're reading manga that like something very, very, very insane's about to happen and you just have to strap yourself in for the ride? I think that's what this is. And I can't wait, bro. In the comments, let me know what y'all think is inside this box, or better yet, what do you think Kuro's true purpose was? And like I said, we'll save that for the live stream because I kind of want to talk about that with y'all. Kind of want to get my thoughts off with y'all. Anyway, I want to talk about, and this is the most important part. This is where we get into the nitty gritty because Kuro noticed that Rudo traded everything he was wearing with Follo. And Rudo wasn't really paying attention. He just did it because this was the way of catching Kuro. And Rudo started freaking out because of the gloves. He wasn't wearing the gloves. This is where things got super wicked. And I don't think anybody really paid attention to this part. I think people just like glanced over this. The conversation with Zodil. This was very important. The Watchman series. The one possessing such an object is fulfilled if they have everything they need as a human being. Thoughts that generate anima powerful enough to drive a person insane will permeate their being one by one. Now, let's talk about this. I don't understand how people miss out on this because it's such a story-driven moment. I mentioned this on Twitter. Remember the angels? Remember the conversation that the angels had with Amo before they took off and the reason that they gave her the boots? Because they said these will help fill the hole in your heart. Think about that for a second. Amo missing love, right? She had a hole in her heart because she didn't understand what love was. She didn't understand any of that. She was sold away by her mom to an old dude, and y'all know how that went. Rudo has never known love either. He has somewhat with Recto because Recto took care of him, but Rudo has hatred in his heart. A lot of hatred, and it's getting dispelled bit by bit, right? All of that energy was getting transferred into those gloves, and it's all the pain he's dealt with over the years. Now, a homie of mine posted this image from last week, right? And what this is. Y'all remember when Samu said he was like a ticking time bomb, right? To me, what this represents, have y'all ever heard the phrase, and again, this is just the way artists tell stories. Have y'all ever heard the phrase, or has somebody ever told you or told like a sibling around you, oh look, that's like a little ball of energy? That's what this is. series. This is, to me, I could be wrong, right? And you know me, I'm always welcome to being wrong because it's like a teaching moment and we're gaining information. This is like a little ball of hatred. This is what's been festering inside of Rudo for ages. That's why he snapped. The moment things went south with Amo, you gotta remember, it's sequencing. They showed this, Rudo ends up snapping on Amo. This is like a visual representation of Rudo's feelings, his anger, and that translates very well into this panel. This is one of my favorite panels I've ever seen in this series. It's ripping away at his brain. This is like the pain that Rudo has dealt with, because when we just look at the gloves normally, right? When you just look at them from a casual perspective, they look like normal gloves. You don't see that design that you see when Follo looks at them. You don't see that. Like, we don't see that. Rudo's so used to it, he doesn't see it. Like I said, the visual representation of what those gloves are, I thought that this was masterful, because again, it's about having a skewed perspective on things. Again, maybe I'm reaching, but I think there's too many coincidences for this not to be a thing. Anyways, I think I've been talking for too much. My face hurts from smiling and talking and grinning about this shit. I really can't wait to hear what y'all have to think in the comment section. I really can't wait to put the pieces together, especially with like next chapter, because I think we're gonna find out what's in the box next chapter, and if we don't, then we're gonna have to wait like 2 weeks, man. But anyways, if y'all enjoyed this review, if y'all enjoyed this video, make sure y'all let me know about that down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. I really didn't want this video to be too long. I hate making long videos because I feel like nobody really watches my videos when I make them too long. So I try to keep it between like 8 to 12 minutes. Hopefully I can do that with this video. If not, I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. I got a lot of things planned for the future, and hopefully y'all are down to help support me along that way. I got another video coming out maybe tonight or tomorrow about that. I don't know how that'll work, but we'll have to see. Again, I appreciate you guys. Road to 10K by the end of August, basically, and road to 100K by the end of the year. Obviously, I have to keep my mental there because that's what I want. I don't want to sell myself short because I think we can do that, but that's neither here nor there, man. Anyways, let me get over here, edit this video. With that being said, it's your boy DomoSenpai, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.